Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Welcome, everybody, to a Friday edition of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, along with G. Bush and Earl the Pearl on the panel for the first time in a while.
A triumphant return.
Yeah, I'm Adam the Bull. We got a lot to get to today. Anthony's off. We've got Mike and Steve on the other side of the glass. And plenty of topics to discuss. We got the Cavs on the docket. Mike texted me. He's like, you got a Guardians topic for me? And then I went to think about it. He's like, forget it. But then Kyle Tucker signed with the Dodgers, so we couldn't talk about the inequity of baseball. But I don't know that we're going to have time for that today. Probably
I got a surprise topic for you guys, which is going to be a lot of fun, I think, around 12:05, 12:10. So
Okay, sounds good. Obviously, we'll be on WKYC Channel 3 starting at 12:30 live, as we are every Friday. What's going on, guys?
Hey, man, we just hanging out, man.
I just want to clear the air.
Clear the air.
You know.
What air do you need to clear?
I cannot dunk.
Oh,
I cannot dunk a basketball.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You know,
Now, G. Bush said yesterday that every black guy can dunk.
I can't dunk.
That was
Now,
just crazy.
I've dunked before, but it wasn't at regulation height. So
like
it
an
don't
8-foot
count.
rim?
And it was not like at a rec center. It was in my homie's backyard.
Yeah.
So it was on one of those.
Was that one of those like Nerf basketballs?
No, it wasn't a Nerf. No,
Yeah.
don't do that. Don't do that. It wasn't a Nerf nothing. But
How tall was the rim?
it
You know?
was probably, I can't remember. I was like 17, 18. But here's the deal. I
Yeah.
can't hoop. Like, I don't have the whole dribble between your leg concept down. I shoot like Bill Cartwright. It come off funny from the side. The shot is never the same
Cartwright.
every single time.
Yeah.
You know, but can I get a basket? Yeah. Can I keep my defender like from getting to the rim? Yeah, I can do that. Like, but I'm typically the last guy picked with people that know me.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, people who didn't know me, they'll look at me and be like,
He looks like he can play.
yeah, the stereotypes of a black man misunderstood.
Yes.
Tupac. It's crazy. They see the locks, they see the tattoos, and they just assume he can hoop.
Right.
Like,
But that's not the case.
that's why I always soup up my 2K players.
Gee, could you even play basketball right now? Like, are you physically capable? I know I'm not right now. I'm hoping I will be a year from now. But like right now, if we were going to go out and play 3-on-3, could you do it physically?
I mean, do you want me to be injured, or do you want me?
No, so you couldn't. You could do it in theory, but you'd probably get hurt.
I'd get hurt. Like right now, my knee hurts now.
Just thinking about it.
No, my knee hurts as we're talking. I'm just sitting here.
But you can step on the court and still hit a shot with no problem?
Oh, yeah, I'm pulling
Like, so you like McNuggets, you could just step out
there? No. Let's not get that. Let's not get, listen, we went to a game of knockout.
Yeah.
And let me just be honest. I got knocked out by Jason Lloyd.
Oh, that was at the...
It's true. At the Boys and Girls Club.
Right, I remember that. You got knocked out by Jason Lloyd.
And
like on the
but
proper
that doesn't... that's a little luck involved there, too.
Nah, but like, it's Jason Lloyd. He knocked me out.
Yeah.
And I told Mike Pope, get rid of the footage.
Just Jason can't hoop at all, can he?
I mean, he made one or two shots, but it was more luck and
And it was on
weird
camera.
physics off the backboard.
And then he banked one in, and I was like, this is unacceptable.
They hear the nickname and just assume because, like, you know, Earl the Pearl Monroe.
Right.
They just assume, but
I mean,
it's like, come on, man. I was born in the late 80s. So, like, the name Earl is like a southern black old man's name. And so my grandfather
I didn't realize it was a southern...
Yeah, my grandfather was Willie Earl. And then my other grandfather was Earl.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, you in the early 90s, mid-90s, you around, like, you around them, they old head friends, and they're Earl the Pearl. Boy, you know who Earl the Pearl is?
So people just started calling you that.
Yeah, so, like,
it wasn't like you liked him. It was
I know who he was.
Right, but it wasn't like you were a huge fan. It was like the old people around you.
They told me who he was. So you do your research, and it just kind of all came together.
Earl the Pearl, listen, they see, y'all don't know how he really got his name. Earl got his name for shooting, but not at baskets.
That's disrespectful. that is
he was a lethal shooter back in the day.
That is not true.
He was so lethal, they bet Earl come up the ball. It's the lethal shooter. Pearl coming.
That's that 50 Cent documentary stuff there, boy.
Got you messed up. All right, Mike, let's get to it because we got a lot of topics to talk about today. So
we do, and we had a bit of breaking news that we're going to start today's show with after a reminder that FanDuel, guys, FanDuel's in playoff mode just like we are. During playoff mode on FanDuel, every customer and FanDuel user gets a chance to win extra money with a profit boost pack that's waiting for them inside the app. All you do is make your picks like usual, then apply your profit boost to go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs get rolling. Just visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every single NFL playoff game day. Guys, we have 2 candidates that are interviewing with the Browns today. But before we get to the 2 candidates that are interviewing with Cleveland today, we got bigger news. The Browns have officially invited, according to reports, 2 candidates back for second interviews. And these were not the 2 names that I think a lot of us would have expected to get second interviews. Those 2 names are Jim Schwartz, the Browns' current defensive coordinator, and Todd Monken, the former Ravens offensive coordinator that many thought would go with John Harbaugh to the Giants. That still may happen in the long run. But according to Peter Schrager, on Tuesday, Monken will be back in Berea interviewing with Jimmy Haslam, Andrew Berry, and the Browns contingent for their open head coaching position. Before we dive into the candidates who are interviewing today, Bo, what was your initial reaction to finding out that both Jim Schwartz and Todd Monken are among the however many number of candidates will get second interviews for the Browns?
Don't like it, guys. Don't like it at all, especially Todd Monken. As much as I've complained about the idea of Udenski, especially because he's young, I've complained about it a lot. I said it's crazy. I'd still rather have him than Todd Monken, because Todd Monken is about to turn 60 years old, and he's never been a head coach. Now, I know Bruce Arians did that, and it worked out, but the fact that he's 60 or about to turn 60 and never been a head coach, the fact that he, I know they deny it, but that apparently he had a bad relationship with Lamar Jackson, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Now, I listen, like I said, whoever the Browns hire, I'm going to give him an opportunity, even Todd Monken. I don't like it, but I'm not going to say, there's no chance he's going to be good. I'll give him a fair chance. But of all the names I've heard, he's my last choice. I don't like it at all. In terms of Schwartz, again, I'm okay with Schwartz. I don't love it, but I don't hate it like I do with Todd Monken.
The Monken move is, I just want to dig in deeper because, when they talk about his personality type, I think that don't you want somebody that's going to inspire people more than what we had in Kevin Stefanski? I think it's important that you get somebody who has some characteristic traits that you felt were lacking in Kevin Stefanski. I look at Todd Monken and I'm like, that's Kevin Stefanski's dad. That's his cousin.
Zach Jackson called him a grumpy Kevin Stefanski.
Oh no! And he don't got no coaching experience.
He's been a head coach in college.
In college,
for a couple years. He's never been an NFL head coach.
Nah, and then my thing too is, if y'all got moved along in Baltimore and ain't nobody pushing back against it, everybody is excited. You go ask Baltimore people, they're like, listen, this offense was trash. We didn't like what he was running. We liked the offense under what's the last, was it Jim Roman or?
Greg Roman. Greg Roman, yeah. And I don't think anybody else is interviewing for a head coach job, are they, Mike?
Monken?
Yeah.
I ain't heard nothing else.
I don't think so.
Maybe,
but I don't remember hearing it.
I mean, Schwartz, you know how I feel. I think Schwartz has a little bit of an inside track. I do think it's ironic that they are bringing these guys in, Earl. They're bringing these guys in for a second, which means that some of the initial candidates may have not worked out, or some people that they wanted to get in turned them down to go other places.
Yeah, I think exactly that's what it is, man. The Browns have done more research on head coaching candidates this offseason than any other team looking for a head coach.
Well, that's what Jeremy Fowler said.
According to
I don't
reports.
know how he would know that.
Hold on. According to reports, but y'all ever been super, super hungry, right? And everything is appealing to you. Everybody watching know what this is. You get super hungry, you pull out your phone, the first thing you do is search food near me.
Yep.
And then all these different options pop up, and you so hungry you get confused. You think you want this, you think you want that, and then it gets later, you can't settle in on anything, you say the hell with it. You just end up picking whatever. Well, the Browns is in a situation where you just can't end up picking whatever. And it seems like to me some of the candidates that was high on their list, they probably got turned down by. And so now they going back and doing their due diligence on 2 guys that they think they might like. But at the same time, I got a theory. I think second interviews is not always about, what can you do for me as a head coach. but we'll get into this later. They're going to interview 2 young guys today who are strong candidates, and so it might be a situation, at least with Schwartz anyway. Let's see if this is a marriage that can work. That if we don't hire him as a head coach, can we pair him with one of these young guys and move forward? The thing with Monken is a little bit of a head scratcher, because if you're not going to be a head coach here, why would you come here to be an OC and you already got a relationship with John Harbaugh? So that part of it don't make sense to me.
No, and the reality is that, and I know our fan base is like, oh, the Browns' job is not that bad. It's not that bad. Yeah, there are other bad jobs too, but there are so many jobs available. And the reality is that the Browns, like, if a guy has a choice, he's probably going to pick somebody else. You could say whatever you want. You could talk. I've heard people say the great defense. You got Myles Garrett. Their schedule's easy next year. I don't know why that matters. The Browns have a bad reputation in the league. The Browns don't have a sure thing at quarterback. A lot of these other teams either do, or at least the team thinks they do, or in the Raiders' case, they have the first pick in the draft. So if a guy's got options, he's probably not going to pick the Browns. And that's maybe why these 2 are getting a second try. I don't know. Maybe the other guys didn't. They didn't like him. I don't know.
Chris Shula, they at least requested an interview with Chris Shula, and he's interviewing with 3 teams for their head coaching job today.
Right.
The Browns are not one of those 3 teams. So
it seems pretty obvious Chris Shula told the Browns no thanks.
There's when you look at it, I think what hurt him a little bit was in terms of the candidate pool was you take a look at what happened with the Steelers. The Steelers' job was not supposed to be open.
That's right.
The Ravens' job was not supposed to be open.
Right.
So when you put those 2 prime jobs on the market,
right,
and also Miami came open a little bit later than we thought.
Too, yeah.
So it's Miami. There's no sales tax. You got Vegas. They got the number 1 pick. You got teams like New York. It's a bigger market. It's the Giants, right? So
the Titans, bad owner too, bad team too. But if you like Cam Ward,
if you like that,
let's face it, there's more coaches out there probably like Cam Ward than Shedeur Sanders.
And I think they have the most cap space of any team
and they have
in the
a
NFL.
Ton of cap space. The Browns don't have a ton of cap space.
If you look at
the Cardinals, that's probably just as bad as the Browns.
But it's Arizona. But it is
Arizona from a weather standpoint.
I think Arizona got some pieces, though. If you look at it, they had a 1,000-yard wide receiver that was not Marvin Harrison Jr. I think what's his name? Michael Wilson.
Michael Wilson.
He had 1,000 yards?
He had 1,000 yards.
And Trey McBride's really
And they
good.
got Trey McBride, too.
Yeah.
So they got some young pieces on offense, and they got one of the former Ohio State offensive linemen who's still on his rookie deal. They got some pieces on the offense.
Yeah, obviously we know
Falcons.
Lamar Jackson. That's the Steelers are not really in better shape roster-wise necessarily than the Browns, but they have a better reputation
It's
in
the
that
most
place.
continuity.
And the Falcons, he's known as one of the best owners in the league.
And you got Bijan. You got
a ton of talent on offense.
So if you look, and you play inside, and you're playing in warm weather cities and in divisions.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, those 2 jobs really flooded the market with other opportunities. And I think this is why Todd Monken's getting a second look. Because I don't think a lot of them, why do you think Jim Schwartz got brought in for another job?
Yeah.
Because now there's not going to be enough coaches to go around.
That's
so
right.
they got to do their due diligence. By the way, I'm like you. Give me the young dude. I take the young dude over Monken because I want something new. I want something fresh. And I want something. They gave a story. They talked about how he basically slept in his car. And then the defense,
Which guy?
The Udinski,
who we're talking about next.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you something. I'll tell you what makes me especially concerned, and this may be totally unfair, about Monken and just about going with an older coach. I'm a little worried. Like, you know how, like, Jason's been saying, it's all about 29, all about 29. And the rest of us are like, we don't want to. You may be right, but I don't want to hear that. And people want to win. If you hire a 60-year-old, like, ideally you want to hire a coach that, in theory, can be your coach for the next 15, 20 years, right? It obviously doesn't work out that way very often.
That's the goal.
But that's the goal when you hire a coach. That's what you hope. Just like when you get a quarterback. You hope he's going to be a quarterback for the next 10, 15 years. Same thing with a coach, maybe even longer. I feel like if you hire an older coach, especially one with a lack of experience as a head coach, for a team that, let's face it, is probably not going to be very good next year, it feels like you just keeping him here to maybe babysit a couple of years, and then when you think the team could be good in a few years, you fire him, and that's when you hire the young coach.
Right.
And I'm a little worried. They're and listen, they got to start over. We understand they're starting over to some degree, but don't hire a coach who's like the fill the gap coach till we get the real coach in a couple of years. I don't like that. And I mean, that may be unfair to him, but that's how it feels a little bit to me.
I kind of like it because the Browns have an opportunity. And listen, for a lot of the time, I was, talking about Kevin Stefanski and what he can bring to the table and why I think they should move on. I think it's imperative. Take it from the guy that's been in a lot of relationships. I think it's imperative that if you do end up back on the market and you're looking for another person to fill this role, I think that you need to really go out on a limb and say, I got an opportunity to change some things right now. I would really want to go for a change. Don't go for Todd Monken is a safe move. Like, okay, he's in the division. I know what he's going to bring to the table. But is this the guy that's going to identify with your roster? Our roster is full of young players. Is this the guy that they're going to look and say, I'm excited to play for him? I respect him.
I feel you on the whole going for a change narrative, but do the Cleveland Browns really know what they want? And that's just an open-ended question. When you listen to what Andrew Berry said in their press conference, he's open to any archetype, right? And so because you're going to interview all these DCs and OCs and, guys that got all these different backgrounds, eventually, man, you got to narrow it down and ask yourself, okay, what is the qualities, what is the characteristics, what is the traits that I'm looking for? Narrow down that field, and it'll give you a better direction of what you should do based on what you have on your roster here. That's just my opinion on how they should go about it. And I think, like, when you hear the reports of they've done the most research, it almost seems like they scatterbrain a little bit, right? Like you thinking too much into it. And so to me, you get into a point, man, to where you got to start narrowing it down, because whoever you pick as a coach, they got to put a staff together. February is right around the corner when you get to the combine and things like that. And if you start over as an organization, continuity is really, really slim. So you want to try to kind of start getting the pieces of the puzzle put together as early as you possibly can.
When he's talking about continuity, and that's a very good question. If they say, you know what, we didn't get what we thought we was going to get, and they hired Jim Schwartz and Tommy Rees as a coordinator, how many people would be upset about that?
I'll lose my mind.
That would be. I wouldn't love that. I mean, it's fine. I'd rather have Schwartz than Monken, but I wouldn't love that. I mean, I don't think they're going to get any of the candidates that I was excited about. So if you're not going to get any of those guys, in my mind, then go ahead, take a shot.
McNuggets, you'd be salty?
I got a guy of the young guys. One of the guys we've talked about that I'm the most interested in.
Well, we'll get to them in a second. Yeah, I'd be salty, G, because if you're going to change a culture, change a culture.
Right.
Just firing Stefanski and keeping two guys who have both been here for multiple years and thinking it's going to just completely change, to me, is not the fix. But what do I know? Guys, they have two guys in here for interviews. We're going to get to those young guys here in a second. A quick reminder, like us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you help UCSS grow as big as it can by your support. It costs $0, 0 cents. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Help us make UCSS as big as it can get. The Browns do have two young offensive gurus interviewing for the open head coaching position today or tomorrow. One of the two. Scheelhaase, the Rams passing game coordinator, is today. Grant Udinski is interviewing for the open position tomorrow. Bo, we know how you feel on Udinski, so I want to start with G. G, if it was up to you between Rams passing game coordinator, 35-year-old Nate Scheelhaase, or 30-year-old Jags offensive coordinator, Grant Udenski for the Browns open head coaching position. These are the opposites of the Monken and the Schwartz. Which way do you lean if it came down to these two young offensive gurus?
Man.
You're calling guys offensive gurus who have never called plays. Like, I don't know that they're offensive gurus.
I like
offensive minds.
I like the fact that I think Udenski played. He played in college, right?
Well, Scheelhaase definitely
They both did.
So Udenski, when he was at Baylor, I heard a story where he was basically, they brought him in as, I think he was the offensive assistant or offensive guy. And basically he sold everything he had to be, get that job. He stayed in, he was sleeping in his car, and then the defensive coordinator brought him in. It talked about how, he is so hands-on when it comes to breaking down different things, and how he has this idea and mindset of, he's in the weeds when it comes to a lot of stuff. He's kind of quirky. All he cares about is football. I think he does hiking. He said the only time that he's around is, or off the field, or not talk about football, is when he's doing hiking and doing stuff like that. Is he notorious for people calling him at 2:30 in the morning, hitting him up like, yo, hey, what you think about this play? And he always answers his phone. So for me, he seemed like a hungry dude. He seemed like a dude that wants to make his mark in the league. He seems like a guy that is up for a challenge. For me, I like that type of energy. You may not get your top candidate that's an old head that got options like Harbaugh, Tomlin, a lot of these dudes. But these guys right here, I think, one, the innovation, two, the fact that I feel like they can relate to younger quarterbacks, that they can see life the same way they see it. And I think, in general, if you look at him or Scheelhaase, they've been in some systems and they've been around from some people who really are smart. Like this guy right here is a pass game coordinator. Now look, it's one thing about the Rams, I can say they got people wide open all the time. Now they got Puka Nacua and they had Cooper Kupp, but they be open a lot.
Yeah, so for me, I'm intrigued by both of these young candidates, man. I think they are some very, very intelligent young men. I do think they have some level of offensive brilliancy to them. I know Bull don't like that because they're young, but when you are that young, you might lack some life experiences, but your ideas is fresh. You see the world from a different view, and you got to understand you got to be changing as the times change. I look at a guy like Scheelhaase. That would be my pick if the Cleveland Browns was to go with one of these young men. He's a disciple of Sean McVay, and he's a guy that he has learned how to draw plays as he's gone through the coaches that he's worked with through the ranks. And so to me, that lets me know that he has a very, very creative mind, and that his concepts and things that he, like to put out there is very different and very unique. He seems to be a very, very good communicator. I actually know somebody whose nephew played with him at the University of Illinois and spoke very, very highly of him.
That's where I remember him from.
Yeah, quarterback.
He was quarterback there.
Okay. That's why I remember that name.
When I look at him and I first heard his name, come on the board, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was a hardball guy. I really wanted hardball. But if you was to scale back of your favors of the big names and look more realistically, he to me has stood out a lot. Grant, 30 years old. If you hear him talk, he sounds like he's about 40. Very, very mature for his age. I've seen the stories too. Anybody who get it out the mud and really, really passionate about it and willing to do it willing to do it under the most adverse circumstances, and you can still be that rose to grow from concrete and figure things out, don't make no excuses for yourself. Yep. It says a lot about his accountability, his maturity level, and things like that. And sometimes, you got to be able to give people a shot, because, I heard some of the things that you said, and I kind of disagree with that. And real quick, before you go, I just put myself in that, right? I used to work for the city of Cleveland for the courts. Mm-hmm. And when you work for the courts, that's a very important job. You are the record keeper. And when you are a supervisor, the stroke of your pen can put somebody in jail, out of jail. You write affidavits, the wrong letter, the wrong number can screw somebody's life up. I was promoted to supervisor at 23 years old. At the time, I had 2 years total experience. I supervised 7 people that was all older than me and had much more experience than me. You look at Andrew Berry. The Browns took a chance on him at 32 years old. So it's not the craziest. He
hasn't done a good job, though.
It's not the craziest idea in the world to think that Andrew Berry is willing to take a chance on a 35 or a 30-year-old who might be next up, even if it's a year early.
What did I say specifically that you disagree with?
I just think you can just cut they don't have enough life experiences, and that might be true. But sometimes, what you lack in one area, you might be better in other areas. When you're that young, in my opinion, because I'm closer to their age than you are, all you got to do is just be a good communicator, be a good people person, have active listening. Don't walk around like you know it all. Be willing to, ask questions and get help when you don't really know the answer. Don't always think just because you got this position at this age that you know every damn thing about it.
What I said was they're not likely to be as ready as someone that's been around longer, which is true. I mean, it doesn't mean it's impossible. So to me, these are two totally different candidates. You've grouped them together, Mike, and I think that's unfair. Scheelhaase has way more high-level experience as a coach. Udinski, to me, again, I'm not saying he won't be a good coach. I'm not saying he's not very smart. Grant Udenski, to me, has almost no chance of success. This guy has essentially been a high-level coach for 1 year. That's it. He was an assistant position coach until this year, and he's 30 years old. The odds that he's the right man for the job are minuscule. Nate Scheelhaase is a totally different story. He's been at least a position coach for almost a decade. That's a huge difference. Like he's been some of that's wrong, Mike. Some of those things are wrong because
No, it's not.
let me double check this because I was looking at
You're
his.
thinking of someone else because this is right.
I'm gonna.
He said this is right.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna bring it up. So Nate Scheelhaase, what did you have? Put that back up again.
Okay.
Okay. So you said Iowa. Okay, Iowa State assistant. Fine. But when you say he was a position coach, Mike, that entire time.
Well, I only have so many characters to fit here, boys.
Okay, but there's a
his
big
technical
difference.
title in 2021 was running game coordinator / running back / wide receivers coach. That's not going to fit on there.
I hear you, but Mike, he was during that time. Okay, he was from 18 to 22. He was a position coach. There's a big difference between being a position coach and an offensive assistant. Would you not agree?
Yes.
That's a huge difference. The offensive assistants are basically like gophers.
They're getting tape. They're cutting up.
Yeah,
stuff.
you're doing. That's a totally different job. You are leading a group.
Yeah.
Okay. Udinski has led a group for 1 year. Mm-hmm. This guy has led a group for 8 years, from 18 till now. He worked under Matt Campbell, one of the best coaches in college football. Mm-hmm. Right. He's now worked under Sean McVay, in my opinion, the best coach in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Unlike the Belichick tree, which has been rotten, what's his name? McVay, thank you. The McVay tree has been good.
McVay's tree has been terrific.
Terrific.
I mean, Steve, you can take this graphic if you want, but
look at the McVay tree.
It's incredible. Some of the
all
best
draw
coaches
plays,
in football.
man. All of them.
LaFleur, good coach. Zach Taylor, I hate him, but he's an adequate coach. Liam Cohen, first year was great. Kevin O'Connell appears to be a really good coach. Brandon Staley hasn't been a head coach, but like all these guys.
He was a head coach though for the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. He didn't do a great job.
Didn't do a great job, but he was a head
overall,
coach.
McVay knows talent. He knows talent of players. He saw the impact that Scheelhaase was having with Matt Campbell in college. Said, I want that guy. So to me, there's a big difference between Udinski and Scheelhaase. And again, let me make it very clear. Udinski might be brilliant. Mm-hmm. I just can't. I think the odds of a 30-year-old with 1 year of leading a group, to imagine him as a head coach, again, just so unlikely. Scheelhaase, I'm on board. If you had to ask me right now, of all the coaches they've interviewed or are about to interview, you have to pick one. I would take Scheelhaase.
Yeah,
I'm with you there.
I want Scheelhaase.
Yeah.
I would say that I think we got to take things in context and consideration. Your resume is your resume, right? Your experience level is your experience level.
Right.
But how you go into an interview and you explain is a large part of why people hire you. You can have the best resume and not interview well. You can have a great resume and they ask you and put you in certain situations. And a lot of interview processes is not just answering questions. They give you, tell me a time when. Give me a time where, how would you fix this?
Sure.
Tell me, some of the interview process can come in. They can give you a tape of Shedeur Sanders. They can give you a tape of Deshaun Watson, Dylan Gabriel, offensive line fronts, and say, okay, what I want you to do is I want you to come in here and diagram me an offense and tell me why this play didn't work or why. What do you think about this? Or give me that's
what a smart team would do. I don't know if Jimmy's doing it.
Well, we have to assume, Fowler said, they've done their most research on the most people.
What I don't understand about that, but how would Fowler know that the Browns have done the most research?
I mean,
that's just silly.
I
love Fowler, but it doesn't
I
make
agree
any
with
sense.
you on this one. It's a cool little note, but
watch. It's also a cool little way of saying the Browns have reached out to more people than anybody in the NFL.
Yeah, they made the most phone calls.
And by default, a lot of people told them no, but at least they can put it on record that they had them down. I'll say this. If they get and I was with you to a certain extent when it comes to, you are taking a gamble.
Yeah.
It is a huge gamble for you to take a guy that does not have the adequate experience right now. However, the people who gamble big are the ones that usually win. Lamar Jackson, when the Ravens drafted Lamar Jackson, that wasn't a guaranteed slam dunk thing. Josh Allen was a guaranteed slam dunk thing. McVay was not a guaranteed slam dunk thing.
I mean, Lamar Jackson was picked 32nd. It wasn't like he was the first pick in the draft. Me personally, I thought Lamar Jackson was going to be excellent.
But sometimes you got to take some chances. Now, between Scheelhaase and Udinski,
You want Udenski, right?
I don't. It's a toss up, man.
You know what else, boy? You ain't bring up. I ain't
Yeah.
bring up either, and I don't think nobody really thought about this. Scheelhaase is the one that's getting all the name recognition, and Mike LaFleur is the offensive coordinator, and I don't think nobody has asked to interview him.
Yeah, that's weird.
At all. So
That is
it goes to show exactly how highly people think about Scheelhaase right now, and what his projected potential could look like.
Mike, how many other teams have interviewed Scheelhaase for head coaching jobs?
he's doing 4 today.
4?
Steelers
4
is on that
today.
list.
How many is Udinski doing?
I'm not sure. I'll find Udinski in a sec. Today, LaFleur's interviewing. So
LaFleur is interviewing.
All the Rams coordinators and coaches are doing their head coach interviews today because they are still
Staying
playing.
collected.
Right.
They're all remote interviews, by the way. They cannot meet in person
of
until
course.
after. So Chris Shula today is interviewing with the Steelers, Ravens, and Dolphins. It's according to Albert Breer, by the way. Mike LaFleur is interviewing with the Cardinals and Raiders.
Okay.
And Scheelhaase is interviewing with the Browns, Steelers, Ravens, and Raiders.
And so, so 4 teams.
3 in the AFC North.
I think that's fascinating. Now, Chris Shula definitely turned the Browns down because they had requested to interview him. So there was a lot. But it is interesting that more people, as far as we know, have requested Scheelhaase than the offensive coordinator.
I think it's interesting the actual teams that's requested.
Yeah, they're right that it's all AFC North
because
teams.
it lets you know, like, okay, there's a strong possibility that if it's not the Browns, we might have to deal with Scheelhaase in some capacity.
You know, they're gonna. The Browns they'll widen it. They had to widen the net because there was more jobs out there.
Yeah.
So, you know, they got to, when you crossing a lot of people off the board, you got to get down to your list and you start to think, oh, well, that person was at the bottom of the list, but we figured out 4 or 5 people that ain't going to interview with us.
Right.
And so now you got to bring in some of these guys. So the crazy part about it is Udenski might be the last dude standing, and that's why his name is in the hopper.
I haven't seen, and I just did a quick Google and Twitter search of another team interviewing Udenski for a head coach.
Okay, so no other team is interviewing for a head coaching job. I mean,
I could be wrong. I did a quick search.
I just
on
don't
both.
get
I don't
that.
see it.
So
why aren't they talking to Brian Flores? Why aren't they talking to Jeff Halfley? Why aren't they talking with Robert Saleh? I mean, maybe those guys have turned them down.
Maybe-
I'd want to talk to those 3
But
guys.
no, like to Bull's point, I think if they were on the radar, we would have heard something by now that the Browns are interested, or I've not heard any of their names at all.
Right, like Walsh we've heard.
We've all kind of, in our own way, kind of brought them up as potential candidates, but you know, I'm starting to think it's either going to be Shula or Halfley that end up in Miami in particular.
Yeah.
Shula got the lineage ties. Halfley's got the connection. I think, you know, somebody that was an exec in Green Bay just became a GM there.
Tyvus thinks he's going to end up in Miami.
And here's another thing. Maybe those guys look. This coaching search is funny to me because I've always said I don't know what the heck they're going to do. Like,
I don't have a great feel.
I don't have no feel.
I'm open-minded though. I put this on social media yesterday.
I think we'll be most disappointed. I agree. I'm open-minded, but
I'll be
if
more
Todd
disappointed
Monken is the
if it's
That's
Monken.
the only one.
I'm going to be disappointed.
So okay, if you got one candidate that you like, nah, I'm cool.
If I had to
we
kick
doing
out
that
one
later.
guy-
We doing that later.
I'm
I ain't gonna
cool.
spill it, but it's a guy that we haven't talked about that
cool.
might be in the loop.
Oh yeah, I mentioned the guy.
But I'll say this. I am open-minded, and I put this on social media yesterday. I'm somebody who wanted to see a head coaching change. So I can't want to see a head coaching change
Right.
and then be pessimistic about the entire process. I got to give whomever a chance. I can't have this predetermined mindset that it's going to all go to hell.
No,
it's gonna
yeah,
all
you're
look back, look bad. So, I am just really just trying to, as a fan, just keep the optimism. It's been a long time since I've been optimistic, and this is me we talking about, since I've been optimistic about the Browns. So it's like, okay, cross your T's, dot your I's, let's see how it ends up. I will say this. I ain't going to say no names, but somebody that covers the Cleveland Browns very, very closely told me 2 days after Kevin was fired that he thinks that Andrew Berry is going to pair himself with a very young offensive mind. So to see how the searches kind of went the way it has, regardless of, us wanting the heavy hitters, is trending towards the direction that I heard early on.
And plus, so you got to think about it like this. And Andrew Berry said the head coach is going to have a large say in what's going on with the quarterback room, right?
Andrew Berry?
Yeah.
Yes.
In terms of, he's the one acquiring the players.
Yeah, right. So the thought process is, if you're going to say that, that means that you want the best eyes looking at it. So doesn't that mean you would prefer to have an offensive mind looking at your quarterback room, especially given the fact that the offense is what you put your emphasis in on this year?
Yeah. And also, listen, in terms of Scheelhaase and Udenski, there's always the possibility if Schwartz gets the job that they hire one of those two guys. Now, they could stick with Tommy Rees. I don't love that idea, but they could also hire one of those guys to be the OC.
Right.
Those guys don't call plays, so they could take a job. Would they? I don't know, but
what do you think?
Scheelhaase could also very well, if Chris Shula gets a job and Scheelhaase doesn't get a head coaching job,
I
could see him going to be the OC for Shula.
McNuggets,
That's a very likely possibility.
Because Udinski, you feel like because Udinski is not, he's not, interviewing with other teams for head coaching jobs. Do you think this is something to get his mind and opinion if they do have Schwartz that you can give play calling to Udinski, and because he doesn't call plays in Jacksonville, that would give him an opportunity to move?
Yeah, same thing with Scheelhaase.
Certainly possible.
Same with Scheelhaase?
Because Scheelhaase, neither one of them is the golf. Well, Scheelhaase is not even the offensive
I just
coordinator.
think with Udinski, when you highlight, okay, you only
Yeah.
got 1 year of controlled experience. What if the Browns was looking at it with him man, I'd rather be a year early than a year late and miss out on somebody that's going to grow into it. And so this is why this is the most important decision that Andrew Berry is going to make to date. And so you gotta weigh everything. It's going to be interesting to see how that actually turned out, to be totally honest.
Would you be cool? Are you more comfortable with him as offensive coordinator?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because then you don't have to be you're not. The head coach has got to be a leader of men. We need that. And I just find it hard to believe that guys like Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward
especially
what? This guy's 30 years old and he's barely coached.
The problem is if you get off to a bad start.
Yeah, you're right.
If you get off to a bad start and you 1-4 or something, that's a lot of pressure on a dude that ain't never really dealt with it. And you know how we is here. All hell break loose.
Well, just look at last point. We'll move on, but look at the Jets. They hired Aaron Glenn last year. That was the guy they wanted from the get-go. They got their guy, right? And this season went to hell, and there were legitimate talks about firing Aaron Glenn this offseason. He enters his second season on the hot seat.
Well, and that's not a comparison to these guys. Aaron Glenn has tons of experience.
He's more experienced. My point is, if they said if they get off to a slow start, if you go with somebody, and I'm not saying they shouldn't, I'm just saying
and they go 2-15 next year, he might be fired after 1 year.
Exactly. So it all adds up. We're getting to our next topic, guys.
Ahead, man.
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and make sure you guys watch us on WKYC at 12:30. You can watch us in Cleveland on WKYC Channel 3. If you're not in Cleveland, download the WKYC Plus app. You can watch us from anywhere. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate all the support. All right, guys, Dane Brugler put out his second mock draft. This is the first mock draft Dane Brugler has put out since we learned of the underclassmen who are returning to college and those who are going to college. And this is the top 12, and then I'll give you the Browns 2 picks in the first round, according to the Athletics' Dane Brugler. He had Fernando Mendoza going number 1 overall to Vegas, Arvell Reese, second to the Jets. Spencer Fano, the first offensive lineman off the board, third to Arizona. Cardinell Tate, 4. Jordan Tyson, 5. And he had the Browns taking Francis Mauioga, the offensive lineman from Miami. Let's round out the top 12. David Bailey going to Washington. Jeremiah Love, Notre Dame's running back, going to New Orleans. Caleb Downs, the Ohio State safety,
I want the Bengals to get Caleb
going
Downs.
to Kansas City. Reuben Bain Jr., the Miami defensive end, going to the Bengals. Jermod McCoy going to the Dolphins. And Sonny Styles going to Dallas. With the other
That's
Browns pick.
3 Buckeyes in the top 12. No, 4.
4 Buckeyes in the
4
top
in the top 12.
And with the Browns' second pick, Brugler had them taking Texas A&M wide receiver Casey Concepcion with the 24th pick. He was an All-American this year. Malioga was an offensive lineman, plays both tackle and guard. That was the Browns' draft picks according to Dane Brugler. Earl, I see you raising your hand, and I know you did a show with Cecil. This isn't necessarily the route you would go.
Nope. Nope.
You don't like KP Concepcion?
No, I do not. Not in the first round. I do not think he's a first-round wide receiver. I think he's
I don't
good.
even know anything about him.
I watched him like 4 times
Yeah.
this past season at A&M. I ain't going to sit up here and act like I knew his whole career, but Mike at A&M guy, so I always ask him a bunch of questions. I think he's more of a second-round receiver. In fact, if I was drafting a receiver in the second round, I'd probably take Chris Bill out of Louisville. For me, once I seen like, okay, Tate and Tyson is gone, I kind of got my own idea of how I would go about the first round.
Trade down?
I'll probably trade down or stay where I'm at and take the best offensive lineman.
Yeah.
But I'm taking 2 offensive linemen in the first round. The Cleveland Browns need to solidify that offensive line. It is the weakest position group, in my opinion, on the entire football team. And you're not going to be able to fix all of those positions via free agency. Premier offensive linemen very, very rarely become available in free agency. And so you have to get those guys via the draft. And if the premier pass catchers, Tyson and Tate, are already gone, then you got to take the best available offensive lineman, hope that DeJuan Jones come back healthy, that you could actually play Zach Zinter and Luke Whippler fits in there somewhere. Bull, G, I'll tell you this too. If the Browns can somehow, some way find a way to move some money around and get some more salary cap money, I'll sign Tyler Linderbaum as well. So I'll sign Tyler, draft 2 offensive linemen in the first round. I'll draft me a wide receiver in the second and the third round and see what I can do, see what else I can do in free agency. But to me, fixing the offensive line is the top priority. And if those pass catchers is gone, sign me up for 2 offensive linemen. I'm not taking that wide receiver that late.
I mean, to me, fixing quarterback is the top priority, but I don't think he could do that this year. And so we're going to see what Shedeur Sanders has got. Maybe he fixes it internally. After that, I do agree with you. I think offensive line, I think wide receiver and offensive line is equal. They're both horrible. And they got to fix both. And it may be, and you don't want to force it. You don't want to overdraft a guy that's not worthy just because you need that position. That's where you make mistakes. I think what they've got to do if they draft an offensive line, we've talked about this a little bit already. If they're going to draft the offensive lineman at 6, I'm fine with that, but he better be a tackle. Like, I don't want to hear, people think he's a guard, we're going to have him as tackle. No. He better be a tackle.
You need a guard too, though.
I don't like taking a guard
Tackle
at 6.
class is weak.
I can't.
And if you think about it, like
you
guard,
can get a guard in free agency.
but the guard is closer to the interior, and that's typically where you want to have the most protection at, right? I get tackle is important, but you got to think outside of just the quarterback. You got to think about the running back as well. And we've heard in the past, the nucleus of the offensive line seems to be guard, center, guard. That's where the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, but
at.
no,
so to
tackle's
me,
way more important though.
I'm not saying it's not, but if you can get an impact guard or an impact tackle at 6, you need both. Take one.
Gee, I can't take a guard at 6.
The tackle, you got Caden Proctor. That's it. Moaga is.
You ain't taking Caden Proctor at 6.
He needs to probably move to. He reminds me of a more athletic version of DeJuan Jones.
Oh, you talking Proctor?
Yeah,
Or?
Proctor.
And the Browns.
Proctor.
The Browns cannot go into the season relying on DeJuan Jones or Zach Zinter. Those guys.
Well, what you have to do is you really have to.
Yeah.
You gotta stay true to your board because you can't overdraft a tackle.
Yeah.
Just because you need one.
Right.
If you got a guard and there's a need for a guard and you feel like he slots where you need it, and Moaga he's a road grader. He plays nasty. He's had a heck of a run when it comes to running the football. They ran the ball against Ohio State. They ran the ball well against Texas A&M. Now Concepcion, he's a transfer to Texas A&M, and he's lightning when it comes to the return game. He can return the football. The problem I got is I don't know if he's more of a slot guy. I don't think he's out wide.
Not that big.
He's not big.
Everything G said so far is spot on.
I mean, this does not sound like a first-round pick
And
guy.
so he's more of a he's a gadget. He's a guy that you want to do some stuff with. Think about Worthy.
Does he have elite speed?
No, don't think about Worthy.
Xavier Worthy, but he's not that fast.
That's what I was because me and Mike talked about this. Because I said, well,
He's not
Isaiah
Xavier
Bond
Worthy.
2.0, he don't have the speed of Bond or Worthy.
So if he doesn't have elite speed and he doesn't have elite size, why would you draft him in the first round?
He's listed at 5'11", 200. He's not tiny, but he's not a big body receiver.
Right.
He's shifty. He's more of the guy that's like,
Who's his comp? Who's his NFL comp?
you guys are going to hate me for saying that. He's not the route runner Jerry Jeudy is, but in that Jerry Jeudy
Yeah, no
role.
thanks. Not taking that guy in the first round.
Now, here's the guy we
Yeah.
just did. Me and Tyvis broke it down. Zachariah Branch is another dude. He's faster
Georgia?
than him from Georgia. Zachariah Branch used to be at USC. He can return. He's he has elite top end speed, but I think you get him in the third round, and he's a slot guy. The guys that you want to look at, you got Chris Bell, you got Denzel Boston out of Washington. Those are guys that are, and a guy that ain't gonna run very fast. We talked about it yesterday. Me and Tyvis, he ain't gonna run fast. But if you can give him anywhere in the 4.51 range, or God forbid he runs a 4.4, I know he won't run that.
Yeah.
Elijah Surratt from Indiana you can probably get him in the second round, and he's a hands catcher. He's a guy that he's a back shoulder fade wizard. He can go over the middle. He's a good possession receiver. He started off as a 0-star recruit. 0-star, right?
James Madison with Kurt Cinetti.
Yeah.
And moved his way up to putting away. And he performed.
He's a tackle.
No, he's a receiver.
He's a receiver.
And Curtis Rourke played well with him at Indiana. Mendoza's been great with him. He's had great tape, played against Ohio State in those corners.
You can take Cooper Jr. in the third round, too.
I like him.
What do we think? Because I'm trying to come up with a Bengals-Browns trade from the 10th pick to the 6th pick.
Real quick, though, to your point about guard tackle.
Yeah.
We do have a different conversation if Arizona don't take Spencer Fano. Because if Fano and Francis is on the board at 6, because the tackle position is weak, I'm probably going Fano at 6.
Yeah.
And then see if I can get the best available guard at 24.
Right. Well, Fano's a tackle.
Yeah.
That's
Fano's
what I'm saying.
a bona fide right tackle.
So, like I'm saying,
And
if
he's
Arizona,
a right tackle.
if
But
Arizona,
he's got to play right tackle. Can't make him a left tackle.
is he a left tackle or a right tackle?
He's a right tackle. Played
Then
right tackle his
that's
whole
a
college
problem.
career.
And
Yeah,
they got
that's a
another.
problem.
That's the thing. How often do guards go? I remember Quentin Nelson, but guards you can't take a defensive tackle and then a guard back-to-back years in the top 6. I mean, that's crazy.
But if it's the best guard available and that's what you need.
He can't be the best guard available. He better be it doesn't matter that Mason Graham's the best tackle available. He better be an all-pro. And we'll see if he is. Like, same thing. When the Colts took
Quentin Nelson,
like, that guy's the best guard in football. He better be the best guard in football
So the
if
thing
you're going
with
to draft
Maui
him.
Goa, he's not played guard in college. He's been a tackle his entire time in college.
Yeah.
Because of his measurables, he got some shorter arms. There are some teams, according to the experts, Kuiper, Brugler, Mel Kiper Jr., that believe he projects best to the next level as a guard. He has actually not played guard.
Yeah.
But
That's a weird.
But Will Campbell, who went 4th overall last year, had a good rookie season in New England.
Yeah.
Similar measurables. There were questions: is he a true tackle? Is he more of a guard? He performed well as a rookie at left tackle. So
and this guy's been really good in college.
he's been very good in college. He was a 5-star recruit coming out. He's been all conference twice, All-American this year.
What do you think's the trade? If the Bengals and Browns trade 10 and 6,
You get a second round next
second round pick this year or next year?
or next. I think he's a
I
second
need it
round
this
pick for
year.
about 4 spots.
I need that now.
You doing a
that
second round
now.
pick?
I need to go.
I would do it if I were the Bengals. Because I want what's his name, the safety Downs. I think he's a perfect fit
And I'm
for
not
the
trading
Bengals.
for Cincinnati just to help them get Caleb Downs. I'm not doing
I
that.
mean, second
Sorry,
round
boo.
pick.
But you do what's best for you.
Yeah, that's a safety. I don't care. Like
That's Caleb Downs. That's arguably the best player.
But the
in
Browns
draft.
are not going to
Hey.
draft him anyway.
Hey, go ahead.
But you don't want to have to deal with your ops in your division for the next 10 to 15
Nah.
years.
If I'm the Browns, if Tate or the USC receiver, no, not USC.
Tyson.
Where's he from?
No,
Arizona State.
Arizona, sorry.
Jordan
if
Tyson?
one of those guys are available, I take him at 6, end of conversation to me. If not, I consider trading down.
I would
Because
trade down.
Right? Not far,
I would
trade down a little bit to try to get more assets.
Especially if you, like you say, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not going to take no guard. I'm not going to take a guard that high. I can trade back and get the guard from Penn State.
You could take 3, in theory, in the top 4, let's say they made a trade with the Bengals, Bengals have the 42nd pick, whatever it is. You could take, in theory, a wide receiver and 3 offensive linemen in the top 42 picks.
I love it.
Browns got 4
Just
picks.
by trading down 4 spots.
They got 4 picks already in the top 70.
Right, now you'd have 4 in the top 42 or 43, whatever it is.
It'll be interesting to see which way they go. But like even with the Jordan Tyson angle, I'm more comfortable taking Francis at 6 than I am Jordan, just because of the injury history.
How much has he been injured in college, Tyson?
All the time.
I'll look at hold on.
He was injured.
But he's fantastic when he's on the field.
He's nice.
Right?
He's a good football player.
Nice. I think he has a little more upside than Cardinal Tate, but Cardinal Tate is
got
just
the high floor.
He's just like, he reminds me a little bit of like AJ Green for the Bengals.
Yeah,
you know, AJ Green wasn't super fast, but AJ
wasn't
Green
flashy.
He wasn't flashy, but
Yeah.
he was just open. Like he's just always cooking.
Isn't JSN kind of like that?
Yeah, like he ain't fast.
JSN a dog, man.
Tyson's different than JSN though. 2 very different types.
The body,
of
his body type
Yeah,
reminds me more of a AJ Green.
All right.
Now, Mekhi Lemon is another guy from USC. He's dynamic, but I don't know what he's going to run.
He's small.
And he's a slot guy.
He's a small, shifty guy.
What's Tyson's measurables?
Like 6'2", 200 pounds.
He's listed
Yeah, I like
6'2",
that.
210.
Mike? How many games has he missed due to injury in recent years?
He played in 12 of 13 games last year, and he only played 9 this year. And then I'm not sure if 3 in 2023 was because he had just transferred to Arizona State, or if it
All
was
right,
due
but
to
the
injury.
last 2 years he's missed what? 5 games?
4 or 5. I'm
That's
not
not
exactly sure what
terrible.
Arizona State played.
He's
But he seems like the guy. You know, in fantasy, when you have a guy, there's always a question mark next to his name.
Oh yeah. He's always questionable for the game.
T. Higgins.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Like he's Jameson.
T. Higgins gets hurt every year, but when he's playing, he's really good.
Like
He got
he's-
double-digit touchdowns in back-to-back seasons.
I believe so.
Now, his brother is Jordan Tyson for the Cavs.
Right.
That's
Jalen
kind of
Tyson.
weird. Jalen Tyson.
Jalen
That's
Tyson.
kind of
Yeah.
weird. What, you got 2 brothers in the same city?
Yeah, I like it.
I
So what's his what were his stats this year, by the way?
So last year, when Arizona State was very good,
Yeah.
Sam.
and Sam Levitt, their quarterback, was healthy the whole season, he had 75 catches, 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns.
In how many games?
Last year was 12 games.
All right, so you average about 100 yards and a touchdown each game.
And I think he's faster than some of those the shorter slot guys we talked.
What's he going to run?
4.4s.
4, 4,
All
4,
right.
5.
Well, I mean,
And
again, I don't know enough about him.
and he is
Sounds like a first round
He's
player.
a first-round receiver talent, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And he's like, so think about it. T-Mac is a little bit McMillan from he came out of Arizona.
Ted McMillan, yeah.
Ted
Had a
McMillan.
great year.
But I was worried about T-Mac and be like, is he gonna get open? Is he really twitchy like that? This guy is more twitchy than him. He's more in and out of breaks. He can catch and he catches the ball
If you're
well.
comparing him to AJ, if his upside is AJ Green, I'm drafting him.
I did see a mock draft to where he fell to the Browns to 24. Now, if he falls,
24?
Yeah.
No, he ain't getting 24.
These is my draft.
You know what?
I'm just
I
saying.
say that. And
Right.
Saying we're in the 5th round.
Hey,
Who
look,
the
you
hell-
know what?
Who the hell knows?
We say,
I'm
hey,
basing that on mock draft, so
Hey,
I don't know what the hell I'm talking
I ain't
about.
listening. Let me tell y'all something.
Yeah.
I ain't listening to no more
Nobody.
mock draft.
It's like
Wait, I mean, you read them, you
no,
have fun with
yes,
them, you
right,
do
right.
content, and then
But
you keep it moving.
It's
You
like
just- right.
presidential
Into the bank.
polls.
Yeah, you
It's
can't
like the
take it.
presidential
Take
it to the
polls.
bank.
I don't believe any of it anymore.
Hey,
It's all nonsense.
When they went up there, and by the way,
Yeah.
we doing all this for nothing. The Browns don't never do what you think they're gonna do.
And
That's
even
true.
more, by the way, if you look at the 2 picks, like if the Bengals ended up with Reuben Banks or Caleb Downs, I don't want to deal with that. So I hope the mock draft is wrong if
Well,
you want to keep it real.
I thought Reuben Baines was a tweener. That was an issue.
Oh,
He is a bit of a tweener.
The Bengals always draft tweeners.
That dude
He's
can
a
play
dog.
football.
No.
Yeah.
He can play football.
He's gonna be a guy.
No,
He's gonna be a dude.
he
a
no.
dog.
The
He's-
Bengals won't trade up anyway, so you
he's
don't have to worry
one-
about it.
He
They won't
is
do that.
one of them. Like he is powerful. He's short. He's a little smaller, but the way he bends, his bend against Ohio State was elite.
Yeah.
I said, oh, I ain't gonna say it's Myles Garrett bend, but he's explosive.
By the way, the Bengals have only traded up within the top 10 once in the history of the franchise. Who did they trade up for?
Achilles Smith,
No, but that was a good guess.
David Klingler,
It was in that ballpark of years, but not him either.
Kijana Carter.
Nice job. I remember when the Bengals traded up to 1 to get Kajana Carter. I was so excited.
Westerville.
I didn't follow college football that much, but everybody had heard of Kajana Carter.
Westerville South, Kajana Carter in Penn State.
He was amazing.
Oh.
Hey,
and then his first preseason game,
Injured.
he tore up his knee.
As a kid,
first game,
the
never
Bengals
played.
got my attention when they drafted Peter Ward. Like Peter Ward won the damn thing in the NFL, but when he was in college,
he was there.
Now,
Yeah,
Peter
man.
Ward was the first dude that was reversing field on people like that.
Yeah.
His shiftiness was great. Now, Peter Ward turned into be a pretty good punt returner, though.
Yeah, he was a decent, NFL player, but not special
Not
like you thought
high
he was
end,
going to be.
not high end. But Kajana Carter was different.
Yeah. All right, Mike.
All right, we got 2 more things before we head over to WKYC. We're gonna
You say head over like we're going to be changing
We
studios.
all sprinting upstairs to the main
We're gonna
studio.
walk
B
on
upstairs,
over.
Studio A. We're going to talk Cavs for a second. We got more Cavs content after this next 10-minute conversation. Jason and I did a first half Cavs grade segment earlier in the week. You can find it on our YouTube page. Go check it out. All right, guys, it is 1 game past the midway point for the Cavs. They have played 42 games this season, which is technically past the 50% point. But we didn't have time to do this earlier before they played their 42nd game, so we're going to do it now. We're going to get 3 Cavs midseason awards. One's easy. The next 2, I'm very curious to see which way you go. So we'll spend a minute tops on the easy one. But who's been the Cavs' best player through the first 42 games? Real quick, we can fly through this.
Okay. Imani Bates. Where is Imani Bates, by the way?
Hey, shout out to
He's
him.
bounced around the G League.
He just had surgery.
Oh, did he?
Shout out to him.
Yeah, he just had
Obviously,
surgery.
it's Donovan Mitchell. I mean,
this
you know,
is
right?
easy.
We all agree it's Don, right?
Yeah.
their MVP
Okay.
is Donovan Mitchell. Yeah.
Easy. So now we'll get to the fun ones. Who's been the biggest surprise for the Cavs? And you could pick surprise in any category, any direction you want to go with surprise. But who's been the biggest surprise in your mind?
All
for the
right,
Cavs
could be
this season?
bad. I'll be positive, guys. I'm going to go with Jalen Tyson.
Me too.
Jalen Tyson was just a guy. Like, he didn't even play any real minutes last year. It was all garbage time minutes, or we're playing a bad team and everybody's resting minutes. He never played important minutes. He never played in the postseason when it mattered. And he's been, I mean, in some ways, he's been their second best player. I know he's not, but
I feel like out of all the players, he's had the second best season.
I mean, especially compared to the expectations.
First of all, his 3-point shooting much improved.
Effort through the roof.
Effort, defense,
Intensity.
physicality. I don't know. Listen, to me,
And I didn't realize he was shooting 46% from three.
He's top 10 in the league in 3-point
if
percentage.
DeAndre
Wild.
Hunter, Mike, why is he not starting?
He starts some
Who,
time.
Tyson?
He starts some time.
They like him coming with the bench because
Yeah.
in the past when they've switched to the bench, their bench got smoked in the
Yeah.
second quarter, so they like his energy in the second. But he started 22 games this year. He's come off the bench for 15, so he started
Who's
more
your
games
guy,
than he's
Earl?
come
I
off the
think
bench.
y'all had a nice pick, but you're both wrong. And
Sam Merrill.
Maybe because of my bias, I kind of expected Jalen Tyson to take this step forward. But for me,
Yeah.
it's Naquan Tomlin because he's been a high energy guy. He's a guy that's been on a 2-way contract more often than not. And you started to see it in Summer League, right? He took this opportunity this season very, very serious to be a part of the Cavs organization long term. He plays with a high level of energy. He plays with a high level of tenacity, and he seems to always give an energy boost to his teammates when he's out there on the court. You talk about like the Cavs being soft and lacking heart, not having those dogs. The dogs might not show up in the names of the players that you wanted to, but Naquan Tomlin is a dog. He's a dude when he's out there on the court, he ain't taking no stuff. He's not backing down from nobody. Like I said, defense intensity is always high. Offensive energy is always high, and he's very confident. He out here taking threes when most people will be looking like he shouldn't be taking that shot. But he got a belief in himself, and the veterans on the team believe in him. So for me, my biggest surprise is Naquan Tomlin when you look at the circumstances and the situation he was in.
Mike, who's your pick?
Those are the 2 main ones. I think you could also make a case for Sam Merrill, just considering the volume and efficiency he's still shooting from beyond the arc with the increased minutes, with the increased load, with the defensive intensity. I also would say, to an extent, I've been surprised at how efficient Donovan Mitchell has been. 30 points per game on 50% and 40% from the three, basically. 49.2%, 38.7%.
But didn't you say what player is the biggest surprise, or no?
No, you guys gave the right answer. I'm just saying
Okay.
something else that surprised me is the fact that
How
Donovan
about how bad DeAndre Hunter's been overall?
Well, we're going to get to the disappointment in a
Okay,
second.
yeah.
if we want to go, you know what? Well, I'll save it. I'll save
Save
it.
it.
Because we have our disappointment segment next, or our disappointment
That's right.
question. Who's been the biggest disappointment? Earl, you went last on that, so you go first on this. Biggest disappointment this year for the Cavs.
You know,
You look
Mike,
pained, Earl.
Mike, this partially your fault.
Oh, boy.
I get text messages and phone calls all the time from my brother, my cousins, and my friends telling me I owe them a refund. Because I'm up here lockstep with Mike telling everybody to buy this Evan Mobley stock. And so far, we have not seen no return on our investment. To me, Evan Mobley has been the biggest disappointment simply because I had such high expectations of what Evan Mobley was going to bring this year. You know, I kind of projected his numbers to be somewhere around 24-10. I thought this would be the first year that he actually averaged a double-double, and the season's still early, we'll see. But it just seems like that he struggles to assert himself. It seems like that, you know, he's trying to figure out, like, his role, so to speak, still. You know, I prefer him going to the basket. You know, when he's going off the dribble, when he's kind of shooting these threes, it looks like he doesn't have the confidence that you want him to have, like he's unsure of what it is he should be doing. Now, the assist numbers is up from any point through this year, so he's becoming more of a playmaker in that role. But, you know, he can't be as inconsistent as he's been for him to be this top 5 player that we all thought he would be, for him to grow into this centerpiece of the Cavs organization that's been projected by so many different people inside and outside the organization. And I get it. And I think about something that Donovan Mitchell said about Evan Mobley early on. Like, sometimes you put in the work and the results just don't follow. Sometimes you do everything right and the payoff just don't come when you want it to and when you need it to. Now, he's still young. He's like, as a person and as a player, so you don't know. But it's like, man, I was really, really thinking that he was going to take such a major leap forward this year, and it's kind of been, you know, same old Evan.
G. Bush.
Man, this is tough.
There's a number of good candidates, unfortunately.
A whole lot of them.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to go with, I'm going with Darius Garland. I'm going with Darius Garland, man.
Darius?
Yeah, man.
DG?
Yeah,
Of all the...
Yep.
I vehemently disagree with this one.
God, Mike, why are you talking over people?
Get him, bull.
Well played.
Let G make his point.
Bull say y'all always do it to me.
Get him, bull. Not because of, you know, his play per se. It's the fact that I feel like he's hit his ceiling. You know what I mean? Like, I'm expecting overall, you know, when they made the decision for Darius Garland and back in the day when they had Colin Sexton, they made the move to say, we gonna get Colin, we gonna take Darius Garland. They took him with the number 5 overall pick. Y'all got to understand something. Like, he's a lottery pick. You know what I mean? He been here. He's a max player. And it's not the fact that he's not good or he hasn't had some adversity. The problem is, I feel like he's hit his ceiling. I feel like he's peaked. And there's nothing we can think about it. I don't believe his numbers are better than Trae Young's, and he peaked. And guess what the Hawks did? They said, we got to go. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like they bet it was the only move they could do at the time. But we were sitting there talking about, hey, well, can he be like a Kyrie Irving-esque type? And then that was completely no. That is like he is.
Who was saying that? Who was having that conversation?
Hey, he a max player. You hope. You hope that you get there.
I ain't never had Darius Garland and Kyrie Irving in the same.
They're not in the same. They're not in the same zip code.
But I agree. Like, you would have thought maybe he could get closer.
Closer.
But he's not even close.
He's not close.
No.
And then the injuries now have limited him to a point where now every time you get the ball, you holding your breath. Yeah. And you're like, is he going to get what he's going to do here? Like, I just think he's peaked. And for the Cavs, if you combine the two, right, you combine the fact that you mad at the Mobley stock. Mm-hmm. And then you combine the fact that you got Darius Garland, who looks like he's peaked as a player. And then you said one of your most improved players, the best guys you got is Jalen Tyson. Then that puts you in a bad problem because now you know you ain't going to win no championship. You got all three of those things happening.
I think you can make a case for Garland. I think you can make a case for Hunter. I think you can make a case for Jared Allen. That's why this season's been so disappointing. But Earl's right. The answer in the end is Evan Mobley because how many years – Mike's shaking his head, so obviously he disagrees.
You're missing the real answer here.
Okay, I'm curious to hear what you have to say. But here's It's Mobley because for 3 years, Mikey McNuggets and Jason Lloyd have been telling us what? That Evan Mobley has to be their best player for them to win. And this was the year. He had made progress. Every year he moved forward. That was a positive. And for the first time in his career, he hasn't taken a step forward. At best, he's gone sideways. Maybe he's even gone down a little. But this big leap, because I was with you too, I was like, okay, this has got to be the year. He over 20 points, blah, blah, blah. And we don't see it. It doesn't happen. And he's the biggest reason why they are where they are. So my vote is Evan Mobley.
Bull, there is no universe, no alternate timeline in which Evan Mobley will ever be better than Donovan Mitchell.
No, you are 100% correct.
What are you talking about? He has to be the there's no timeline.
No.
Bull, so you agree that you don't think they can win a championship this year?
No.
The Cavs? So we were right. So Jason and I were right the whole time that if Mobley didn't become their best player, they had no chance.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's why I made a few weeks ago the insane statement, and it was insane.
He just went
but I stand by
prosecutor.
it, that I would give the Browns a better chance of sometime soon winning a championship over the Cavs, which is crazy because the Browns are way further away. But the Cavs, to me, are capped. Whereas, as bad as the Browns are, as far as away that they are, they're not capped, at least.
I do have that on my topic list. We will do that in full length at some point.
Yeah. But
All your answers. Mobley is fair.
Yeah.
Mobley's a fair answer. I disagree on Darius, but
I
there's
agree
just
with
other.
Gian
He's been
Garland, just
disappointing,
not as the
but
best.
compared to DeAndre Hunter and the guy I'm going to say, I can't make a case that he's been more disappointing. To
But
me,
Jared Allen?
no. Bullets. It's our guy. It's Lonzo Ball.
I forgot about Lonzo.
This
Ball.
was a
he
guy-
belongs in the conversation too. But
This
yeah,
is
you're
a
right.
guy who I thought could help the Cavaliers.
He's been terrible.
And listen, he's been nice to me. I don't like saying this, but he's unplayable right now. He's literally unplayable. Every time he steps on the court, the Cavs are becoming a worse basketball team because he doesn't drive. The Cavs offense is predicated on driving, kicking, and hitting open shooters.
He can't shoot.
If he's open, he's the least efficient volume three-point shooter in the league this season. That's
in
not,
the league.
That's not my opinion.
What qualifies as volume shooter? How much do you have
Over
to shoot?
120 attempts this season.
He's the worst
He has
shooter.
the lowest efficiency of any NBA player with that many attempts.
He also the Super Bowl
McNuggets.
face.
McNuggets.
He is he's been unplayable. He's been I hate this. I hate to like
Let me tell you
I
something.
don't find joy in this.
No,
But
you
Lonzo
like
is a
him.
guy I had real expectations
keep it
for,
real.
and he can't play.
Hey, bro, did he get like 2 DNPs within a 3-game stretch a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, Kenny benched him for a little bit. He
Go
played.
ahead.
He played. He's gonna play more with Sam and what's it called? Sam and Darius out.
Sam, what's it called? Lord, have
Sam and
mercy.
what's it called?
Remember you talked about, hey, G. Bush, could you play 3-on-3 right now?
Yes.
Let me tell you what happens when you get injured or you would have had surgeries.
Yeah.
Usually your game changes. The first thing that you're going to see me doing is shooting a lot of jumpers. I'm not moving. I'm going
Right. And that's what he's doing.
And Lonzo Ball, this is what happens when you have injuries and you lose the quick step and you lose the ability to get past somebody. You become a bad high volume shooter. And if you look at it, his field goal percentage is 30% because he can't get to the rack. Everything is mid-range or long two. You can't get to the rack, and then your assist numbers are down because guess what? We're gonna play you for the shot. We're not gonna let you even drive and kick. So you look at guys like Paul George used to be super athletic, broke his leg.
Yeah,
Paul
right.
George became a volume 3-point step back guy.
Mike, you say Lonzo Ball's not playable right now. He might not even be rosterable right now, as bad as he's playing.
He has a team option, so basically an expiring contract.
Could he
Makes
be
him
out of the
$10
league
million.
next year? Is it that bad?
I still think he has a presence as a veteran on the end of a bench. I just think his body's deteriorated to a point where
he just
a
can't
team
be a player.
can't rely on him to be a guy that needs to. He could be a Tristan Thompson. He could be the last, because he's not that old. I mean, how old is he? He's 20.
Is he a great teammate?
All the guys
By
love him.
all
in the locker
accounts,
room.
yeah, he is.
so
He is.
So where is Tristan retired, right?
Tristan's out of the league, They brought in Larry Nance to fill that role.
Right.
Larry has been
That's been
injured
his
and
not
he
good
hasn't
either.
been
Lonzo was
so-
great in the locker room.
Okay.
Very, very high energy guy, always joking around. Like they got good chemistry amongst the group.
I'm gonna tell you this.
He just got to make a shot.
can't.
Make a shot,
Yeah.
please.
In basketball, Bull, like, this is crazy. Like, but basketball is the biggest mental thing in the world. Like, Ben Simmons out of the league. I just saw Rich Paul say, yeah, he's done. Like, when these guys be done, like, you get injured or they just have a bad shooting night or one year they have a down shoot, like, they're done. They completely fold up and go home.
It puts even more into perspective how, like, ridiculous it is what LeBron's doing at 47 or whatever the hell
50,
he is.
Like, these guys, like...
LeBron could play to 50. He won't, but I believe he could play till 50. Am I crazy?
His body's starting to break down. So, but yeah,
45.
Yes, 100%, 100%.
He just is
carried away with the 50.
And if he wanted to change his game, he could play as long as he wants.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, I know we got to go, but I look at a couple moves Kobe made this offseason. One that worked out, one that didn't. Clearly, the trade for Lonzo Ball didn't work out. Coral is having a better season than him, but the decision to sign Sam Merrill over Ty Jerome and just to see
your boy,
Ty Jerome. Like, just to see how this season has played out and how
Yeah.
important Sam Merrill is to the Cavs
Yeah.
on offense and on defense, with the ball and without the ball, is crazy. Who would have knew Money Merrill would have an impact on the
he's
Cleveland
been
Cavaliers
tremendous.
that he's had?
I
He's been
broke
awesome.
it. I broke it all down
Yeah.
during the championship run in the summer league. Money Merrill.
So are you saying Merrill carried Amani Bates to that
No.
championship? Is that what you're-
Amadi was still him. He was him on that.
He was him.
He was him. But
was G League him.
No, actually, who carried him was Baby Mobley, the older Mobley.
The older
No,
Mobley.
and Craig Porter Jr. was
I
And
was
Craig
about
Porter
to say
Jr.
CPJ.
Hey, that was one of the greatest summer league teams of all
Hey,
time.
Craig can ball.
Yeah, at the barbershop, I want a ranking in the last 10
Greatest summer league teams
It
ever.
listen, it took over. It took over the summer.
How long has summer league been going on for?
Oh, for a long
long
time.
enough. But we got, I'll look that up. But we
Okay.
got one
Don't
thing I
matter.
really want to get
It's
to.
not that important. You don't have to
Really
look it
want to get to today.
Yeah.
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, help UCSS reach
We're
as
doing
many
something
people as we
goofy now,
can.
right?
We're having a little fun real quick. So,
Let's see what this is.
with that being said, before we get into it, each of you has 30 seconds, real quick. Bo, we'll start with you. We'll end with Earl.
Jeez.
Dang.
In the next head coach of the Cleveland Browns, real quick, I just need a quick
we doing
description.
something
Trust me, this will be fun. Real quick, 30 seconds. What do you want to see in the next head coach from a quality standpoint? What qualities do you think is a necessity for them to have?
The most important thing is leadership. The Browns have a lack of leadership. Kevin Stefanski wasn't a good leader. As much as I love Myles Garrett, he's not a leader. He's a leader by example of play, but he's not a rah-rah leader. They don't have any guys like that at all. They really don't. Their best players are not those type of players. The Browns need leadership. They need discipline, right? They need a guy who's going to tell them like it is and keep them accountable. That's the most important thing.
G, what do you think quality-wise?
Motivator, innovator, communicator.
I like that.
Muhammad
Earl, what
Ali
about
over
you?
here.
I'm with Bull, man. Leadership. I think everything kind of falls up under that when you talk about communication skills, holding people accountable, discipline, just doing things in a timely manner, structure, and things like that. They need a good leader. I'm with you.
There's got to be we've talked about this a lot with Kevin Stefanski. It seemed like there was no accountability, and there has to be. Go ahead, Mike.
So, I'm glad we got that on the record.
Yeah.
Because I got a buddy, Andrew, who
There.
was thinking of ways to find the next head coach of the Cleveland Browns, right? And just thinking outside the box candidates. And he punched in some characteristics that he wanted into an AI software, and it came back with some interesting results. So, Bo, we just learned what you wanted in a head coach.
Okay.
The characteristics you wanted. Do you see that resembled in this potential candidate for the Cleveland Browns head coaching job? Do you believe that's a leader of men?
I am a leader of men.
Hey,
There's
are
no
you
doubt
yelling
about
at? Who you yelling at, bro?
I don't know. Who am I yelling at? Who's 53?
It's AI. I have no clue.
I love that. I feel like I look pretty good in the Browns colors.
Actually, you do. I've never seen you in Browns colors.
Hey,
Well, I have a Browns.
Hey, Bull is
Yeah.
lighting into that linebacker right there. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened.
Matter of-
Did he miss a tackle behind the line of
I
scrimmage?
mean, I do look like
he is pissed
You look
off.
like an offensive line coach.
I look like a little like an offensive line
Actually,
coach. Yeah.
to be truthful, that's not even your position group. You don't even
Yeah.
coach the linebackers. You
Yeah.
just saw something you
Yeah,
didn't like.
I definitely
what
do
are you
not-
doing?
You're out of pocket.
I
out of pocket
definitely
over
do not
there.
look like a linebacker coach.
Nah,
Bad stop. Brooklyn in the house.
like he looked like you look like the old line coach that came down and said, "You guys can't get a stop for nothing."
I love that. I love that look, man. That's
That is
awesome.
wild.
Thank you.
All right. Well, it's
Yeah.
a good thing we have one for every member of the UCSS
Oh,
show.
Lord.
Let's see. G. Bush, you said you wanted an innovator, a
Yeah.
communicator, an ideas guy. Let's see if AI thinks you'd make a good head coach.
And I'm sitting over here like, hey, listen, we worked on that play all week. This is nasty work.
G looked like he drove to Canton just to go to Swenson's and it was closed. And it was closed.
Man, that's
punting again.
Unacceptable.
I said, so when Andrew sent me these, I had a little comment back for each. I said, G looks like he's disgusted at his rookie kicker who missed a chip shot when he was too scared to go for it on 4th down, on 4th and 2 from the 12.
Hey, or it looked like they told me to throw the challenge flag, but I was too late. And I'm like, this is nasty work. You got my glasses and everything.
So
I think I got that hoodie too.
These are fun. I love this. All right, Earl.
Earl, would you like to see yourself as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns? You already submitted a AI picture of you as an interviewee.
Yeah.
This is what you'd look like if you got the job. Steve?
Look at him. He a coach and a fan still.
Never changed, bro. It's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Hey, we representing the land.
Hey, listen, that looked like I just had a very, very adverse field first season, but somehow, some way, we found ourselves with an opportunity to make it as a wild card team at the end of the season, and the kicker went out there and handled his business as the fans was leaving because they ain't had no hope and faith, and now we go into the playoffs.
All right, look at the picture of Earl really quick, just his face. Tell me you don't see, there's like he could be related to Mike Tomlin for a second.
He got the Mike Tomlin eyes.
Something about it. Yeah, maybe it's the eyes. I'm like doing this, so I don't see the rest of
squared his face a little bit.
There's something about his face. There's some similarity.
And he got the O.J. Simpson gloves on.
Yeah, you got it.
He got them unruffled James on.
Oh my God!
We got it for everybody, so we'll go through here.
Hey, listen. By the end of this show, G, if I got cops knocking at my door, if I getting subpoenaed to court affidavits,
shooting.
like,
This
man,
is
what's
wild.
going on with you today?
The gloves don't fit. You must have quit.
For whatever reason, we all have the OJ gloves on. Bull
That's
had them
crazy.
on, and you had them on. Next is me. And
Okay.
AI
you,
kinda,
Mikey.
yeah, let's see. What do you guys think I'm doing here?
Mike kind of looks like one of those dorky, like one of those nerdy head coaches.
He definitely,
Hey, Mike, give me, listen, it's 3rd down. We need 4 yards. This play right here, I ran it 62% of the time. If we just go ahead and call this play right here, we got this.
Yeah.
How many times did Mike rerun this back with AI?
Oh, yeah.
You know this ain't the first one.
Yeah,
He's
right.
out here.
I didn't
get
make
the
these.
first
I did not, for what it's worth, I did not make these. I
Why
swear.
is he looking cool?
Mike
He
looks
look
like-
he cool
Yo,
too. He's like,
Mike looks like
Yo.
if Sean McVay and Mike McDaniel had a kid.
right. Like
I see a
There's
little
Mike.
Cliff Kingsbury.
his hair is way too clean on that side.
You're looking sharp there, Mike.
Yeah. Like, get me together.
All right,
Chat
next
GPT.
we have Coach Powell. Are you ready to see
Oh, yeah.
Tyvis?
I hope
as
we
the
have
head coach?
Director Steve.
We don't have director.
Oh.
Let's see what Coach Powell look like.
Let's see Coach
Yeah,
Powell.
Tyvis, A, lost the gloves, and B, is 100% still a media member.
Bro.
He's the only active head coach in the NFL that's still doing media.
Bro.
It's funny because he played in the NFL and he looks the most awkward of all of us.
Yeah, he definitely looked like they walking off saying, "Why you keep telling me about the Buckeyes?" Like, why are we doing this?
He's like, go Bucks, go Bucks, go Bucks, go
And then
Bucks.
he's like, and somebody say, just high five and get it over with.
Hey, Tyler, like, hey, he like, hey, that Big X album was fire, wasn't it?
Boy, I want the super chicken.
Oh, man.
It was, yeah.
All right, the next one's my favorite.
Yeah.
It is Jason.
Oh, God.
Oh, here we go.
That's perfect. That is perfect.
He says,
You trimmed them up a little bit.
Hey,
I didn't
I'm
make
just
these.
kidding,
Make
I'm
this
kidding.
very
hey,
clear.
that right there, he is mad. Actually, something good happened on the football field. Shador just threw 3 touchdowns.
Hey, the Browns won 10 games in a year he was trying to throw the season.
Dang it!
What are we doing here?
I texted Jason, and Jason goes, and I quote, I look like every other quarterback on planet Earth is dead or in prison, and I have to choose to start Deshaun or Shador.
I told you I was dead
Say that
on.
again? I couldn't hear you.
Jason basically said, this is my face if every other quarterback's either dead or in prison, and I'm forced to start Deshaun or Shador.
Yeah.
Basically what.
He looked like the whole team got the drop on him that he was trying to throw the season.
It looks a little like
and they
Dan
came out
Campbell,
here
by
and
the
won
way.
every game.
It looks like he just let out a fart,
Yeah.
sniffing it, and no one else.
Like,
allowed to
slipped
know
out of
it.
there.
Hey, you look like Jimmy texted him. I want to see you after after this game.
All right, 2 more. We have Mr. Crawford. Mr. Crawford as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, according to AI. It looks the most like Jay out of any. Jay looks more like Jay than anyone else.
Jay looks like, you remember the last few years when Paterno was at Penn State? And he wasn't really coaching the team. He was just like a figurehead.
He just checked out. He was just.
It's like they sat Jay on the sideline with the card.
True story. Out of all the AIs we've seen so far, Jay is the only one that lost the team. The team ain't even paying Jay no damn attention.
He's just standing off to the side.
He's the only one that lost the team.
His pregame speech was 49 minutes.
They willing to play hard for Jason. He done lost the damn locker room. They huddled up with everybody else. That's G. Bush right there, the coordinator. They don't even want to talk to Jay no more.
Like he's like, listen, he going back. He got his Denny's menu popping. He called it, but it's crazy though. Like this is like Russell Crowe in A Beautiful Mind. He don't even know you here. He don't know.
Right, he's like out to lunch over there.
Like he's just over there, just hanging out. Like
nobody is near him. They're like, what is? That's just coach. Leave him
what
be.
is he looking at? The game is over there.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the last, and shout out to Andrew. Let's give Andrew a round of applause.
Andrew, good job, Andrew.
And he's fighting. Hey, I need that standalone picture, man.
Andrew, we need Anthony though. And we need Director Steve. Can he do those?
Director Steve, we may not have a picture that AI can use to judge. We'll work on it.
Okay.
Last but not least is Dustin. Though.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Let me see this one.
Oh, that's a good one.
Dustin into it.
Yeah,
Dustin into it.
Got the jacket.
Yeah.
I like that one. That's good. He looks like a coach.
He watching that 3rd round pick. Do it for him. Do it for Dustin Fox. Do it for Dustin because he couldn't.
But you know, Dustin forgot the last play though. They got to come back up and tell him.
That's true.
He was like, yeah. So Dustin is the second.
He thinking about that drive home to Canton.
So based on the AI generations, which UCSS person would make the best head coach? Based on just the look, not what you actually do.
Me?
Based on
Me, because I'm the most optimistic. That's why. Because I'm a motivator.
Tyvus was
hold him
optimistic
accountable.
too.
Yeah, but I'm going to hold him accountable.
I'm going to
tell him exactly how it is and what it ain't.
I'm going to go with Bull because he's just, I like the fact that he'll just yell at you. For no reason. That man,
I love that picture.
The picture is hilarious.
I could send you all these if you.
I want to print that up.
want
I
that.
want to put it up in my house.
And look.
If I come over for Thanksgiving, Bull, and that's hanging in your living room
Those
this year.
might be our Twitter profile pictures for a while.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Until the search is over.
I think I need
we should do that.
Yeah, I think I need to put that up.
He yells at them so much that they done tuned him out. They just sitting there like this. Man, this dude be tripping, bro. He ain't even our coach though, bro.
I'm cursing. I'm spitting.
Man, I
love that.
like
Thank you,
Bull.
Andrew.
I like
That was
Thank you,
fun.
G.
That was funny.
That was good job out of you, Mike.
That was
Good job,
fun.
all I did was.
No,
show
but
the
you
pictures.
said it. We credited Andrew, and he did a great job.
Yeah.
But you said
We need more lighthearted topics like that.
We
That's
need
fun.
these.
Yeah,
That is
funny.
hilarious.
Man, we go for it's too much red meat on.
By the way,
on
Mike,
stage.
before you do super chats, the AI little interviewing for the Browns, I was just trying to satisfy the Rooney Rule because I thought we was getting John Harbaugh. So that kind of like went crazy. They ended up Mike petting me, offering me the job. I needed a numbers guy, hired
right.
Mike as the GM.
Hey,
Feels
good. Field goal's good.
We got some super chats to wrap up
Yeah.
this portion of the show before we head over. I don't want to say head over to KYC Plus, but we're gonna head over to WKYC and WKYC.
Boiling
If you find
your
a better
head.
way to say it, Bull,
We gotta run over there in 2 minutes. That'd
Please
be
let me
funny
know.
if we had to do that.
Soldier Man 20 says, at the end of the day, do you guys really trust them to do their due diligence enough to get it right? I don't. I'm just tired of the excuses why things don't work for the Browns.
Do I trust them? No. Do I think sometimes you get lucky and that gets you out of the doldrums. So hopefully,
Do we have any choice?
we have no choice. You gotta hope for the best.
You gotta just. And I will say this: I think everybody, if you can't, I like what Earl said. You can't ask for a coaching change, and people think it's coaching change, but then the next dude come in, and then you automatically.
You gotta
mad.
give him.
You gotta give him a shot.
Gotta give him a chance, man.
Even
Have
if it's
some
Todd
faith.
Monken,
Right. Even if it's Todd Monken,
I'll keep an open mind.
we'll see.
Not fair to condemn a
Joey-
guy before he's actually
Yeah,
coached for
you're
you.
right.
Joey BOD says, fired a 2-time Coach of the Year to scrape the bottom of the barrel. Go figure.
Yeah, I know. Listen, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you this: you better get off to a decent start, because now you got to
People
deal
are
with
coming
them.
for you.
CLT Jeff says, get one offensive lineman in free agency. Hopefully Barry can find a receiver like Cooper. Draft 2 offensive line, 1 receiver early. Order doesn't matter. Just don't reach.
Tyler Linderbaum.
Yeah, I think
I
they're
just don't
going
know
to
if they're going to draft assign a center because I think Whippler is probably one of their best returners.
So, but Whippler is one of those dudes who's versatile. He can play guard and center. But with Linderbaum, man, you getting somebody that's stamped as a solid offensive lineman, and then you don't know what your situation is.
Yeah.
You want somebody that'll be able to call the checks at the line of scrimmage. Whether you
fair.
got a young quarterback,
If they feel like Whippler,
whatever the
Project
case may be.
stockpile.
Project
Do we know
stockpile.
Whippler could play one position before we assume he can play
I
two?
mean,
Yeah, that's fair. We don't
just,
know that he
we
can
just
play.
haven't. You know what it is.
He may. I'm not saying he can't.
I mean, Zach Zenner was playing center, right?
No, we've seen Luke play
Zach
multiple
Zenner can't
positions
play.
though.
I mean, he's not starter.
He's not good.
Alex Roush says, let's not forget Scheelhaase helped develop Brock Purdy at Iowa State, so don't
did.
think he can't develop QBs.
He did. He does.
Topo says, can we just be honest? Bull probably has a worse track record of good takes than Barry has good draft picks. Someone should deep dive and try to compare the two.
I guarantee you my takes have a way higher hit rate than Andrew Berry.
Hey, tell him,
100%.
Hey, that was
And
some
tell-
old school mixtape beef bar right there.
and tell him your track. You got your track record so long. You're gonna be going back a long way.
Hey, shout out to Coco though.
I've been doing this for over 20 years. Andrew Berry hasn't been.
Hey,
He ain't gonna have a job for
he
20
said
years.
when I was doing this, Andrew Berry was a kid. You know, me and Andrew the same age, so we was kids when he was doing this. huh,
Exactly.
basically, right?
Exactly. So, and by the way, it's hard. Like all he has to do is acquire players. We have to make predictions on all different sports.
I want to ask this question really quick. If Shedeur Sanders, they're bad next year, but Shedeur Sanders puts up great numbers, really great numbers, does that mean Andrew Berry's still safe?
It depends on his draft this year.
I don't see I think it's a very unlikely scenario that Shedeur would play very well and the bad team would be bad. Like, how's that going to – they got a good defense.
We saw
so if he
Deshaun
played
Watson
very well-
do it in Texas.
Right, but the Texans' defense stunk. The Browns, in theory, have a good defense. They do now. It changes from
maybe
year
they
to
got
year.
a lot of injuries, Myles Garrett, a lot of things like that. I don't know. But
in that scenario, yes, I would say yes.
Can he save his job single-handedly?
I mean, I would have thought he'd be out now, so I don't know what I don't know what Jimmy's thinking. I mean, to me, it should have been obvious that you changed the coach, you changed the GM. I would have changed
Two
them
more
both.
super chats real quick. Black Loud Ghetto says you have to speak life into these guys. Everything is always how bad this is or how bad that is. Speak things as though they were. Change the culture. And Carlton Scheelhaase says, leader of men is overrated. People will follow and respect you when your ideas, schemes, win games, and develop players. Mayo and Glenn didn't work. If Schwartz is the head coach, who do you want as the OC? 5 seconds real quick.
Scheelhaase or Udinski.
If Schwartz is the head coach,
I'll say Scheelhaase.
Mike McDaniel.
All right, we'll
I'll
see you
take
on
them too. I'll take them
WKYC in 3 minutes. Download WKYC Plus
Jay.
app.
Fire.
Or Jay.
Jay do look like he got something on that Denny's menu.